Hey, it's me, Fabes. Basically today I am making this video to talk about a few things that's been going on with me. And the reason why I'm doing this instead of writing it is that this way it helps me to kind of get those things out there a lot easier and do it a little bit more honestly and spontaneously, because I am just talking and I'm not exactly just writing and pausing and thinking of better things to say, editing myself and making it sound like what I wanted to sound of actually, instead of just saying what I'm saying. So the main thing I really just want to say is that I am not okay, and I haven't been okay recently for various reasons, which I will explain later. But yeah, I just kind of haven't been saying to people that, when they ask me how I am, I'm just going, yeah, I'm fine. In reality, I am not fine, and I really should say why. Basically, I'm not fine because of my ongoing problem with my depression, and even though it's been almost 6 years, it still gets to me from time to time, and it is really annoying that this far into it, it's still kind of messing me up. But, one of the ways that I try to deal with that is try to address the issues and say what's wrong, and that's what I'm pretty much going to be doing here. So, one thing I want to say is that one of the reasons why I am not okay is because of what I've learned through therapy and things like that. So, one of the things that I've learned is to know what my passengers are, basically, which means what are my triggers and what causes me to not feel okay and everything. And one of the things that makes me always feel depressed and makes me really feel bad about myself is when I feel like I have nobody and I have no support. And when I was figuring out what made me depressed 6 years ago, it had to do with several factors. Um, the main one being that when my brother left to go to university, I was left here by myself with no one that I could talk to realistically on a daily basis. Yeah, I could talk to my mum and stuff, but there was stuff that we could talk about that, you know, that we would just get. And when that went, it kind of felt a bit odd, and I kind of eventually adapted to it. And then when my mum left to go on holiday for a month, I was left completely alone for a month, and that kind of pushed that feeling a little bit more, that I was alone again for with no one here every single day, which was okay at first, but then eventually I started to kind of wanting to do more and that kind of thing. And then when one of my oldest friends died, it just kind of just made me just go right over the edge, because just one more person that's gone, and that was pretty much the driving force of me somewhat losing my mind. So that's the history. As for what's going on right now, more of the same, because people have left this house. It's more of the same that I come home and there's no one really to talk to. And that's not because, you know, it's anybody's fault. It's just because now that my life is a little bit different to what it was 6 years ago, is that once I come home from work or go to work and come home, I either just go straight to sleep or have really nothing to do. And one of the ways that I did try to combat this feeling, because I honestly knew that this may happen, was that I entertained the idea that, I have friends who I could call up and have come over and visit with me or spend time with me, and then it doesn't feel so bad, because that was my problem 6 years ago. Then 5 years ago I met some wonderful people, and then I never really felt alone again until I left, and now we're in the same kind of situation. And unlike then, I really felt that I didn't really have to say to people, oh yeah, I'm kind of feeling lonely, can you just come over and just hang out for a bit? I just kind of thought that because we were friends, that we could just make a plan and just stick to it, and actually just make me feel less like I'm just sitting with myself doing nothing. And as I say this, I'm not saying it to blame anybody, I'm just saying it to just explain things, really, because for the last 2 months now, I've been trying to meet several people several times in 1 week, and things get pushed to another day, then to another day, and then all of a sudden I'm not getting replies, or it's, oh, I'm sorry, I can't come, I've got this, I've got that. And it's not really helping me. Now, I'm not saying that because people have busy lives that they should drop everything to come and see me, but I'm just saying that once or twice people cancel on you is okay, but when you've been trying to meet people for over a month, 2 months, and they're just saying, well, I'm this, I'm that, it's just like not making me feel good, because the way I work is that if I've asked you to do something, I've kind of made that plan for that period of time, and I don't necessarily have people that I can just go and see on a whim, because this isn't like when I was younger, where me and my friends, we live adult lives, and you have work, other home commitments and stuff like that. So when I make a plan with somebody, it's usually I try to stick with that plan with that person till that day. And if you happen to cancel on me the same day, I don't really have much to do with myself other than that, because someone else might have been busy that day, and that's why I made that plan. And when that just keeps happening to me, it just doesn't make me feel better about myself. It just makes me feel that, am I not important to some people to make them hang out with me, or do I not matter? And even though this may seem really silly to say, but that's just how I feel sometimes, that sometimes people just don't want to hang out with me for whatever reason, because I'm too annoying and too whatever. But that's just generally how I feel sometimes, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. It's just that's just how I feel, and I don't want necessarily people to make me feel bad about it, because that's how I feel. But that's just it. That's just how I feel. So I do understand that people cancel it sometimes for legitimate reasons, but a lot of the time it's just like, I want to meet you because I actually just want to hang out, talk and find out what's going on with you and your problems, and help you, distract myself from my life and see what's going on with yours. And even if there's nothing going on, it's still better than just having some company and not having any company at all, basically. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I haven't been okay. So yeah, and another ways that I haven't been okay is that my personality and current attitude towards living life and stuff hasn't been consistent with what I've known myself to be. I've known myself to be very, you know, polite and nice and outgoing and sociable, and of late I've been some of those things, where at the same time I've kind of been reserved of some of those things, and some of them is not due to me being scared or stuff like that. Some of it is just got due to me just kind of forgetting who I am. And when I forget who I am, I kind of go to a place where nobody really notices anymore. Because sometimes I think, if I suddenly stopped doing this or stopped doing that, would somebody actually notice and ask me why I'm not doing something? It sometimes makes me think that the person that I used to be, people don't even remember that anymore. They just remember the person who I've been for the last couple years, and that person is me now. Sure, there's some things that still remain from the old me, but sometimes I think that some people don't even notice anymore when I'm having a bad time or when I'm having a good one. So I really don't know what to say, basically, but that's just how I feel sometimes. And recording this and putting it out there and hoping that everyone that knows me sees it and just kind of understands sometimes that sometimes I'm not okay, and sometimes it just helps someone just to ask, really. Even if you say, hey, how are you, and I say I'm okay, even just asking me to really, if you just ask me to really, then sometimes it may just make me reconsider my answer, because I know that there are certain people that I would say, hey, how you doing, and they'll just say, oh, fine, and I accept that. And when I say it, and when they ask me and I say that I'm fine, they also accept that because they don't really care. But there are some people who generally ask me how I am, and I would honestly tell them. And same when I ask people the same way. So yeah. So for now, what I'm going to do is try to work on these feelings that I've had, and I feel by doing this I've kind of highlighted some of the issues I've gone through, and hopefully made people understand a little bit more about what's been going on with me and what I go through generally. There is a lot more, obviously, but this is me just talking about what's going on right now. It's not necessarily my whole bag of issues, because yeah, there is a few, but not necessarily suitable for everyone to know. But as of right now, I am not okay, and me saying that is making me feel more okay, and I will be getting back to okay hopefully sometime soon. And when I do, I hope that people will take notice of me and realize that I'm being a little different and not being the same. And I also just hope that by doing this I also gain some more support, because when you have support it makes things definitely go a lot faster, and when I don't have support it kind of makes things drag on. So for now I'm just going to sign off and say thank you for watching, and I hope you understand, and hope this helps you understand me and understand anybody else that may have similar issues to me. So thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you later.